Back at the Sky Dome in Toronto, set to go to the top of the 5th inning. The Yankees 3 runs, 5 hits, and an error. The Blue Jays 1 5-1. Here's Dave LaPointe and Steve Sachs. It looks like they're talking about the exchange rate of the Canadian dollar until you almost always end a conversation with LaPointe with a smile on your face, and that was the case here too. Incidentally, Scooter, there's one other news note that's worth mentioning tonight, and that is that in the Pascual Perez situation, after conferring with all the doctors, Perez has decided to defer surgery at this time. While surgery still remains an option, the plan right now, rest and rehabilitation for about 6 weeks.
I like that decision.
Yankee team physician Dr. Stuart Hirschon will keep a close eye on him, and then they'll reevaluate after about a month and a half.
Yeah, because had they operated, he'd have been out for the season anyway, and this way they can let him rest all that time, and then maybe, just maybe, it might heal by itself and be able to help the Yankees a little bit later in the year.
He definitely won't throw for about another 3 weeks, and then they may test him on the mound to see how the shoulder feels and go from there.
Okay. All right, Bobby Guerin, count of 1-1, and that's 2 balls and a strike. Guerin flied to center first time up. He's trying to wait, trying to stay back, but just flies open. There he is, way out in front. He's swinging the way the Blue Jays are swinging at the point stuff.
And 2 pitchers that are very similar. They use a lot of off speed, fastball, slider, changeup.
Oh, ooh. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Jimmy Key was saying before the game that after the rehab, and he was on rehab because of a pulled hamstring muscle, said he might be too strong today. What he was worried about was that he would not be able to have the pinpoint control that he normally has.
And line to right center field. He caught it. Holy cow. That ball really hung up there. Guerin dropped the hat, tried to drop kick it, and missed it. Oh, man, I thought that was a cinch base hit. I don't know how that ball stayed up, George.
Junior Felix has outstanding speed, and he gets a good jump on this ball, and as you can see, it's hit right off the end of the bat. It kind of tails towards the end, and it's curving towards Felix right now as it's coming off the bat of the right-hand hitter, and Felix makes a good play on it.
All right, here's Espy. Alvaro fly deep to center field first time up. I just don't like to see him swinging this hard. He is really swinging, leaving his feet. Every once in a while he'll pop one, but he used to have, look at that, he never used to swing that way.
The left wrist, by the way, has been taped. The wrist that he jammed last night diving for that ground ball. He said it's still a little sore, but he's back in the lineup today.
He's swinging too hard with a sore wrist. Just take that nice, sweet little cut to right field. Like that. Oh, but he fouled it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This time he stays right on the ball.
A little bit behind it.
Yep, didn't leave his feet, though. That's a little better. Now, with 2 strikes, he used to be a good hitter. Yeah, going after a bad pitch there. Lucky to get a piece of it.
And you know what he's got in his back pocket, don't you?
The rabbit's foot?
The rabbit's foot. He does.
All right.
Given to him by you.
Yep. Little youngster up in Albany. Check swing foul. Back in the stands, out of play.
There it is.
Hey, there it is. All right. Little Chris went out and got them for every player on the team. I don't know whether they're all using them, but keep winning, they'll all keep them in their back pockets. Sleep with them. High fly to center field. Mookie is there and makes the catch. 2 men out. So Espy comes back with 2 out. And Roberto Kelly is 2 for 2. 2-line singles to left field. He scored twice.
Looks a lot more comfortable at the plate, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Hey, Jimmy Hunter, that's right. We won't be here tomorrow, but Jimmy and Connie Hunter will be celebrating their wedding anniversary tomorrow. 34th.
34 great years.
Cow.
And a couple other people will be celebrating too.
Yeah, Cora and I are going to sneak one in. Base, that's 3 for 3 for Kelly, and everyone hit like a bullet to left field. Now, Roberto has got the majority of his hits to right and right center, but tonight, well, as George said with Jimmy Key, he pitches like LaPointe. You can get out in front on him.
But even with that, you notice in a more confident and more comfortable hitter at the plate in Roberto Kelly. You can see on this one, the ball just a little bit up. They try to get it inside. They want it off the plate, but Kelly is able to get the bat head around, not inside enough.
Really turning that right wrist over. So with 2 out, now let's see if he tries to steal. He's had a tough time getting a lead on Jimmy Key. Those left-handers can be tricky out there. Sometimes you got to guess with him. You guess right, you go easy. Guess wrong, you look bad. And outside the Sox, ball 1.
So what are you going to do for your anniversary?
We're just going to take a ride down Niagara Falls and relive the honeymoon. It's not too far away. Nice hour-and-a-half ride.
How many is this? 10, 15.
Keep going. You know that game concentration in the hole, and Fernandez goes to second in time to get Kelly. So they get him. Nothing across for the Yankees at the end of 4.5. It's the Yankees 3 and the Blue Jays 1. We're now going to pause for station identification.
Imagine a few years from now, it's December, and the whole family's going to see the big Christmas tree in Hirohito Center. Go ahead, keep buying Japanese cars. You say I want the best. Fine. Grand Am is #1 in its class. $2,000 cash back or 4.8% financing. Merry Christmas.
John Wayne, Red River, Saturday at 4:30.
Over the past 28 summers, John Lawyer has gone to Yankee Stadium for every home game. His seat is 434 feet from home plate. Yet John has never seen a game. John parks the cars across from the stadium. But there's no one with a season's box that knows the Yankees better. He can tell you who's ripping the seams off the ball and who can't buy a hit. He can tell you about that wall-climbing catch in the 7th the other night, who's on the trading block, and all about the kid they're bringing up from AAA. From where John sits, he can't smell the grass or watch a suicide squeeze play. But thanks to the Daily News, John hasn't missed a game in 28 years. The Daily News, New York's hometown paper.
Welcome back to the Sky Dome. Time for tonight's WPIX Yankee Trivia Quiz. What 2 players hold the Yankee record for grounding into the fewest double plays in a single season? Grounding into the fewest double plays in a single season. We'll have the answer a little bit later on for you.
All right, here is Junior Felix, bounced to short and double to left. He has scored the Blue Jays' only run. That was back in the 3rd inning. 1 for 2. Yanks lead 3-1. Outside.
Felix and McGriff both have had difficulty with their wrists in the last couple of days. McGriff out of the lineup yesterday and today. Felix missed last night's game, back in the lineup tonight, but as you can see, that wrist is still taped. It's right between the thumb and the wrist area.
So I believe that's the first walk given up by Dave LaPointe.
It is.
4 straight pitches too. That's unusual. Tony Fernandez will be the batter. He's bounced to short and bounced to second. And there's Felix over at first base. Felix has 9 stolen bases, been caught 4 times. And LaPointe takes a little too much time. Fernandez walks out. Look at that. He's got that little finger of the left hand off the bat. Oh, Rod Carew nice and loose up there. Whoa, foul ball. Holy cow.
Ooh.
You know that ball hit the foul line, kicked the chalk up in the air, but third base umpire right on the play said it did not go over the bag. Whoa, man, that was close.
The ball had to be hooking quite a bit. Greg
Yep.
Koss was right there in perfect position to make the call. It kicks the chalk up, and if it is over the bag, it's a fair ball. Remember,
Right.
the bag is in fair territory, so if it hits and spins foul, from this angle you'll be able to get a view, but you're not going to get a complete angle down the line.
Nice play by Guerin.
It hit about 4 or 5 feet in front of the bag. It looked like it hit right at the edge of the chalk line, and with the ball spinning off the bat, it could have kicked anywhere from about 4 to 5 inches to a foot to the left.
Yep. I tell you, Blowers has got to play a little closer to that foul line with LaPointe out there. Been one double hit between he and the bag. When he throws that off-speed stuff there, he got over that time, but the pitch throw goes to first base. He was playing a little too wide of third base. And there was a shot of him. You see that? He's got to get over there and keep that ball from going by for a double. Nobody out here. Strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. LaPointe with that good slide step. He's throwing the hitters off too with that, because normally he doesn't throw that quickly.
And he's pretty good at giving you a quick pitch.
Yeah.
Right at the borderline of
a balk.
going
Yeah.
too fast.
That's right. Ball and 2 strikes. Base. Holy cow, look at this. What a great play by Espinosa. And he's down. I want to tell you, that was quick reflexes, because Felix was not too far off the bag, but he leaped, grabbed it, threw the ball, and was falling backwards, and a great double play by Espinosa.
2 great plays here. First, Espinosa times his jump perfectly, flat-footed throws, and then Mattingly, who's on the left side of the bag, does the shuffle step to the right side of the bag and still keeps the left foot in contact. You can see where Mattingly came across. The foot dragged across very close to pulling it off before the throw got over there.
Boy, I tell you, I would never take that Espinosa out of the game. I don't care. He is so valuable. He has saved so many runs all year long for the Yankees. Plays like that, pick-off plays. Great arm. Just the great instincts. That's low. 2 balls and a strike to Gruber.
That play becomes even more critical when you got this guy coming up right after you, because with 60 runs batted in, Gruber trails only Fielder with 63 for the leadership in the American League. Almost every time he's had somebody to drive in, he's done it.
Yep. Espinosa, he makes them all. The easy ones, the hard ones. So nothing across at the end of 5. It's the Yankees 3 and the Blue Jays 1.
Your Mitsubishi Motors dealer is bursting with ways to help save you money on all our award-winning cars and trucks. During our inventive incentive deal days, the savings keep getting higher and higher. Now you can save up to $2,000 on Galant by combining factory-to-dealer incentive and a special value package that includes air conditioning and AM/FM cassette. So come in now while the savings are in the air.
Inventive incentives at your tri-state Mitsubishi Motors dealer now.
Yes!
Every day, someone could win $500,000 cash in Pick 10, the new game from New York Lottery. Play Pick 10 today, and you could be a $500,000 tomorrow.
You find it in promises, and you find it in plans, in the midst of laughter, and in silences shared. When the deal is sealed, and when the dance is done, it's there. And for 80 million responsible Americans, it's simply a good part of the good life. It's beer. A message from Budweiser.
This copyright telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and WPIX and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game or any segment thereof without the express written consent of the New York Yankees is prohibited. What you're seeing here, Kelly Gruber, when he came out, took a look at where the ball hit, that ball that skimmed down the line and was called a foul ball. Tony Fernandez had a few words to say also. Now Cito Gaston is out talking with Larry Barnett.
I'm surprised they're arguing now, George. I mean, he had the time to argue when he hit the ball. And Gruber, I don't think, should have done what he did. I mean, he's kind of showing up the umpires.
Gruber's talking to Greg Kosk, who made the call at third. The argument, the heated part of the argument, involved Larry Barnett, who's the second base umpire, and Tony Fernandez. Manny Lee stepping between Fernandez and Barnett. I mean, it's difficult to tell from here what was going on, but you almost have the feeling that Fernandez said something to Barnett about it, even though Barnett didn't make the call. And
yeah, I mean, this is a little like the closing the barn door after the horse gets out. It's they should have argued the point vehemently when it happened, not now. I mean, the play is over. That's what Bell is saying. Why are you doing that now? The play is over. All you're going to do is show up the umpires, get them mad at you, and then you won't get all the calls. See, Bell is telling him, what are you going to do about it? Boy, Fernandez, he's got that Latin temper, I tell you. Hard to argue with that temper.
I tell you, this you're watching here, the two leaders of this ball club, George Bell quieting things down, and Cito Gaston. The one thing that Cito Gaston brought to this club last year when he took over was a presence. And it took Cito to come in there and say, let's cut it out, let's play baseball, and let's go. Cito will have the last word with Greg Kosk, the umpire, but this team listens when Cito talks. He is an impressive figure physically, and the way he deals with his players is impressive too.
It is. Well, number one, he went out to protect Fernandez so he wouldn't get thrown out of the game, and then try to placate the umpire after the argument was over. That was Kelly Gruber you just saw, and Mattingly's the batter and takes a strike. Mattingly hit into a double play and flying to left field.
Again, if you missed it, Fernandez hit a ball down the line that hit the chalk, and Greg Kosk called it a foul ball. It hit right before the bag. And
1-1.
After that, Fernandez lined to short, and that was a double play, erasing the runner that the Blue Jays had.
All right, that time he got up on the toes and swung down at it and didn't hit with the uppercut. A line single by Mattingly.
You could tell he felt a little bit better about that swing.
Yeah.
As this one comes right back up the middle, right back at Jimmy Key. Here's another look. Watch Mattingly go up and keep the swing.
Yep, on his
and
toes.
now Fernandez and Larry Barnett are going right at it.
He's going to get thrown out.
Unless somebody steps between him, Fernandez will be out of this game.
I can't understand why he's so upset. He gets enough base hits.
Larry Barnett saying, I don't want to throw him out, but if you don't tell him to keep quiet, he's going to be gone. If you can read lips, I don't have to tell you what he's saying.
Gee. He could be out of there. He
may have been tossed already. I'll tell you one thing, and in talking with Tony Fernandez before tonight's ball game, coming into tonight, he was at 273, which most people would take and say that's not a bad number. But for Tony Fernandez, he's been hitting in bad luck. He'll hit the ball on the nose, and he's a frustrated young man right now. Frustrated that he's not hitting the way he would want to hit, and he has been ejected from the game.
Yep. Well, you cannot. I wish he'd get off the field. I mean, he's just going to get himself more time. Now, who's that arguing over there now?
That's John McLaren, and Cito Gaston tells them both to get off the field.
I don't blame him. I mean, the dumbest thing in the world is to stand there and argue. Everything's been said and done. You can't gain anything. All you're going to do is gain more fines and suspensions. And
there's the Yankee bench. You can see Mike Witt saying, get him off the field. Let's play baseball. Well, Scooter, if you had an argument involving the Toronto Blue Jays that went this lengthy, you probably would have guessed that George Bell would have been right in the middle of it.
That's
George
right.
Bell was way out in left field. He didn't want any part of it because he told Tony Fernandez, look, let's just play baseball and forget about it.
And no way Tony could win.
Says, give me a little refreshment.
That's the bullpen right back there. Gets you wondering how he got that drink.
You know, the other thing that you don't want to do, and that'll mean that Manny Lee will move over to short, and there's Larry Barnett, who just tossed Fernandez. Liriano will come in to play second. But what this really does, and the person it really hurts, is Jimmy Key. And he's coming up against Balboni, who already homered against him earlier in the game.
Good point. But Cito is trying to tell him. At this point, there's no sense even trying to explain to Fernandez that he was wrong altogether.
Here's Liriano, who's gone in to play second, and Lee moves over to play shortstop.
And there's Jesse out in left field. Or is that, who was that just then? Oh, he got under it.
Is that George Bell in left? I was checking the dugout.
I don't know whether it was Bell in left or Lee moving over to shortstop.
Now the outfield now is Bell in left, and Williams has come in to play for Mookie Wilson in center field. Felix is in right. The infield has Gruber at third, Lee at second, Lee at short, Liriano at second, and Olerud over at first.
1-1. Steve Balboni. Home run first time up, popped the second time up. Way out in front of the off-speed pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Two and two. Yankees have 3 runs on 7 hits, and the Blue Jays 1 run on 5.
Cito Gaston not happy at all about what transpired in this inning.
He hit him right off the hands. A little pop up to Gruber at third base. 1 man out. Mattingly's still at first base, and that'll bring up Jesse Barfield.
Now, Scooter, Barfield had an interesting comment before tonight's game about the Sky Dome. Of course, he played here before, and he said, you know, maybe I'm pressing a little bit coming back playing before the home folks, but the general feeling on the Yankee team is because the conditions are so right here for baseball that when you come to play, and he said he's heard this from other players around the league, you are relaxed. You know, it's not like, for instance, when you go to Candlestick Park in the National League, you're always worried about the winds and how it's going to affect you. The feeling is here you can play baseball, and if it's raining, the dome will close things, so you really don't worry about it. And he said that may be one of the reasons why the Blue Jays are well over 500 on the road, but only at 500 at home.
Oh, did he? No, didn't get all of it. Bell right by the wall makes the catch. Boy, you watch those outfielders. Hey, Barfield just missed getting the real good wood on that ball. 2 men out.
Man who holds many of the offensive records for the Blue Jays and is in the top 5 category in every offensive record, gets Bell back to the wall, but just hit it off the end, just missed it.
All right, here's Jim Leyritz, who is hit to the box, bounced to short. 2 men out. Yankees leading 3-1, and a curve outside, ball 1. Two or nothing.
This game was moving right along until this half inning.
Yeah. Yep. An argument where they could not have won no matter what happened. Base hit to left field. That's going to be extra bases. And Mattingly in a third, and a double for Leyritz. That base hit will put Leyritz over the 300 mark. He came in batting .294. He's 1 for 3 now. That ball takes a wicked kick away from Bell. Mattingly would have scored.
Out comes Cito Gaston, and you figure here's another look at Leyritz's swing. A little bit too much of the plate as Key wants to get it inside. Leyritz rattles it around in the corner, and George Bell does a good job of getting the ball in to hold Mattingly to third. So Mattingly's at third. Leyritz is at second. And Gaston is out to talk to Jimmy Key. When this inning started, he had thrown 80 pitches when the inning began. And remember, he just came off the disabled list after the rehab assignment from the pulled hamstring. So they would not want him to go much more than 100. They were trying to give him a 100-pitch limit. And now with 13 pitches this inning, he's at 93. So if he can get out of this inning with 2 outs, he'll survive. And there's Wills warming in the bullpen. But another hit, and you figure Jimmy Key would be out.
Oh, yes. And this is a tough play for the manager to call, because he went out there and everybody thought he was going to take him out. They're going to put Blowers on and pitch to Bob Guerin. I guess they've been reading the paper and seeing how tough Guerin has been going lately. But an intentional walk now to Blowers.
And the other half of it is Stump Merrill could very easily come back with Matt Noakes to counter. We'll see if they make the announcement.
To counter what?
Hit for Guerin.
Not with a left-hand pitcher.
If he takes, I'm saying if he takes Key out and brings in the right-hander. I don't know that the right-hander will be ready.
You know, I would think the way Guerin has been going, they figure they can get him out.
He will pitch to him.
He's flied to center and flied to right. He did hit 1 ball good last time up, lining out to right field. So Guerin could break this game wide open right now. Yankees lead at 3-1, but the bases are loaded with 2 out. Trying to check. Boy, I tell you, when you're in a slump, everything goes bad. And that was a pretty good pitch had he swung at it, but he started to, held up, and the ball hit his bat. Actually hit his bat twice. It bounced up.
And you think back to last year, I don't know that there was more than once or twice that Guerin held up a swing. Remember?
Yeah, I know it.
Bobby's in that zone right now. He's still trying to get it back, still trying to get comfortable and be aggressive at the plate.
1-1. Mattingly at third base. Leyritz down at second base. And over at first, Mike Blowers. They'll be running on anything hit. And a base hit. Oh, the strategy backfired. 2 big runs score for the Yankees. And it's now a 5-1 ball game. And that's got to make Bobby Guerin feel 10 feet tall.
You can just see Mike Ferraro telling him, that's it. You're right on the ball. You went right up the middle with it. Perfect. And you know he's got to feel great.
Oh, yeah. Now Espinosa will be the batter. I guess Cito doesn't want to go out there, or he's going to really get booed for not taking him out.
Another look. He goes down to get it. Low outside and just goes right up the middle with it.
All right, Espinosa fouls it off, strike one. Alvaro has twice flied to center field. Another foul just to our right. 0-2. Yankees 5 and the Blue Jays 1. Well, he stays alive. Two out, 2 on here in the top of the 6th. And another foul to the right side. He's just trying to get a piece of it. Just inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Inside again, 2-2.
Figure Key over the 100-pitch mark right now. This is his last batter. If he gets out of this inning, we'll probably see Wills in the next inning anyways.
Yep. Hold it foul.
Jimmy Key said before the game he really does not feel right until he gets about 100 innings in during the course of a year. In other words, he's saying that it takes him a while to get the arm strength where he wants it.
That's like Mel Hall on your interview with him last night, saying he's got to play about 2 months steady. And a pop up to second base, and that'll do it. But the Yankees pick up 2 big runs, and at the end of 5½, it's the Yankees 5 and the Blue Jays 1.
Kip and Henry are bosom buddies. When they get rolling, it's pure comedy magic.
You're taking out a girl who still believes Bambi can talk.
They're the funniest guys around.
Gloria's had her hand in the hormone jar.
And the ladies they live with are the sexiest on television.
On to the hot tub. Bye.
Every day, the laughs are right here on Bosom Buddies.
Starts Monday at 7:30 on Channel 11.
What we've learned from research on the human heart has changed the way people live and how long they live. Death rates from heart attack have declined by a remarkable 30.9% since 1977, but it remains America's #1 killer. So contact the American Heart Association, because what you don't know can kill you.
Hey, Yankee fans, here are 2 great ways to enjoy all the summertime fun at the stadium. On Saturday, July 7th, Coca-Cola presents Yankee Glove Day as the Yanks battle the Twins at 3 o'clock. All fans 14 and under will receive a free Yankee baseball glove. Then on Sunday, July 8th, Gatorade presents Yankee Sports Bag Day at 1:30, and all fans will receive a free Yankee Sports Bag. So make a double play with the Yanks for this giveaway weekend. Get your tickets now.
Okay, time for tonight's WPIX New York Yankee trivia question and answer. The question tonight: what 2 players hold the Yankee record for grounding into the fewest double plays in a single season? The answer: number 1, the Mick. 2 double plays in 1961, and the other Mick, Mickey Rivers, 2 double plays in 1977.
2 speed demons.
Mick the Quick.
Yep. Well, we got well, Sanders is in that category too. The more he plays, the better he's going to be. He's going to steal a ton of bases.
He grounded into a double play last night, and that was the first one in 126 plate appearances. Wow. That's not a bad number.
No. By the way, we haven't wished Jeff Idelson a happy birthday. One of the hardest working young men with the Yankees, all way out in front of the off-speed pitch. He wants to look at that ball. He thinks it's playing tricks. Bell has struck out and singled. Nothing in 2 the count. One ball, 2 strikes.
This has been an eventful night, hasn't it, Scooter?
Oh, man. A lot of things happening, and it's not over yet. Foul back.
This entire series sold out here at the Sky Dome in Toronto. At 49,883 last night. The 15th straight sellout tonight. 22 of the last 37. And 21 of the remaining 45 have been sold out already.
High fly to center field, and Kelly is there. Easy out, 1 away. Boy, you breathe a sigh of relief every time you get this guy out in this park.
Had a 2-home run night last night, and it was a night when he started the evening with a sore hand.
Yeah.
In fact, he's still wearing that little pad, sponge over the thumb to try to prevent the hand from being shocked by the jar of the ball hitting the bat.
There's another kid didn't have too bad a night last night.
His first career 2-home run night.
2-home run. He and Bell, 4 home runs between them.
You had a few nights like that, huh?
No. I wish I did. That's inside, 1-1.
Did you ever hit 2 home runs in a game?
Yeah, one time at Yankee Stadium too.
Down the line?
Yeah. One was inside the park. I think one hit the foul ball. But they all count. I love the swing this kid's got. Somebody told me he's only 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Up the middle, that'll be a base hit. There's one LaPointe should have had. Wasn't hit that hard, and I think Sachs might have thought that LaPointe had it. He slowed up just a bit. And old railroad singles up the middle.
I think Dave LaPointe thinks he has it too. He just does not follow through. He's on the one leg. Even if Sachs makes this catch, there's no way he's going to throw out Olerud.
And this is tough when you slide on this stuff. You stick, you run over, you get rug burns. Here's Pat Borders, who's become a nemesis to Yankee pitching lately. Double and bounced to first. One Yanks lead, bottom of the sixth. Oh man, he had Borders off balance with that quick pitch, but he didn't get it over. You know, George, on the plane coming up, I saw this big guy sitting in back of me get up and walk up to look for a magazine and come back, and I said I thought I knew him. And when we got to the airport, going through customs, he tapped me. He said, "I'm Sean Burke, the goalie for the Devils."
Sure.
I mean, he's 6'5", and I don't think he shaves yet. So young, I couldn't believe how big he was, and good looking. Holy cow. I told him to come up to the booth, and we'd love to talk with him, but he was only in for one day to see the family, and then he went back. He said when he gets to the stadium, he'll come up and say hello.
Outstanding hockey player, and
yes,
pretty sharp young man too.
Yep. But I tell you, he's so big you would never think he'd be a goalie. 6'5". Laid off. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Borders, 1 out. Again, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now LaPointe has walked only 1 man, and that was Junior Felix last inning. And his strong point is making them hit their way on. And we get a little stirring around in the Yankee bullpen. Oh, that hit Guerin. Oh man. Foul tip. The unprotected part. Not a protection with the shin guards, very little with the chest protector. The old ones used to be great, but these, let's see where it hits him.
Looks like it hits off the left foot. Maybe the, right off the knee, the side of the knee.
Yep. Full count, 1 out. Struck him out, holy cow. I tell you, LaPointe, when he has needed it, has come through.
Another look as LaPointe gets it in right on his hands, low and inside, and Borders can't get to it. When LaPointe has needed the strikeouts, he's come up with them. First inning, Flowers made the error, and he came up with a strikeout. Second inning, after a double and a single, he ends the inning with a strikeout.
All right, here's Glenn Allen Hill, lines it. Great play by Espinosa again. He split the bat. So nothing across, and on the Daily News scoreboard at the end of 6, the Yankees 5 and the Blue Jays 1.
This hair is brought to you as a reminder. A reminder that if you're losing yours, you should see your doctor. Because once your hair goes away, it doesn't come back by itself. Doctors can treat hair loss successfully. And the earlier you see a doctor, the better. For your hair, see your doctor or call this number for more information. Quick, like a bunny.
It's summer in the city, and everything's cooking. Everything's looking good.
No one must know about her or what she's done!
This is the time.
Surely you can't be serious. Don't call me Shirley.
This is the place. This is is the summer on Channel 11, New York's movie station.
Oscar, you'll never believe this.
They're New York's favorite roommates.
You're a lunatic.
Together for better.
Felix, I knew you had a teddy bear. I didn't know you had a doll. I'm normal.
Or for worse.
He wants to be more like me. That's nice. I'm the lunatic.
Tony Randall.
My dinner's ruined.
Jack Klugman.
That's perfect. What's perfect?
The Odd Couple.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Starts Monday night at 11 on Channel 11.
Back at the Sky Dome, another look as Dave LaPointe delivers to Glenn Allen Hill, and watch Espinosa at shortstop. Saws him off, the bat is broken, but Espinosa first is playing him perfectly, and second makes a perfect jump, and then as he goes off, Tom Seaver, LaPointe says thank you very much.
He is having a terrific night defensively. Don't worry about the bat, Alvaro. You just keep playing shortstop the way you've been playing it, and there will be no worries.
There's a new pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. Wills comes in with a 5-2 record and that .608 earned run average, 37 innings, 43 hits. He's given up 6 home runs during that period, 16 walks and 26 strikeouts. Espy had a tough night last night, rolling over on that left wrist, but had it wrapped by Gene Monahan and Steve Donahue prior to tonight's game, and said it was a little bit sore, but he remains in the lineup, and boy, he's had an outstanding defensive night tonight. Roberto Kelly's had a pretty good offensive night tonight. Roberto singled to left in the first, singled to left in the third, and singled to left in the fifth. 3 for 3. Now up to 296.
He's creeping back up to that 300 mark, George, isn't he?
Looks so much more comfortable at the plate.
He looked like a totally different hitter than he was a couple of weeks ago. I mean, absolutely a different hitter. Everything looks different. Closed, good aggressive swing, trying to hit the ball, drive the ball to right center. He was a little bit out in front of Key. Key was using a bunch of off-speed stuff against him, but he still kept everything on the plane. There you see Terrell Evans, the hitting coach for the Yanks, and Steve Balboni, who himself is swinging an excellent bat.
You looked at the numbers coming in on Balboni tonight at 185, but misleading because he could have had 3 hits last night. He hit 2 on the nose and he was robbed. Tonight he's got a home run. So while the numbers don't necessarily reflect it, Balboni has been swinging the bat well. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ooh, got him that time. So Wills gets Kelly for the first time tonight. Roberto goes down swinging. Another look at it. Tough pitch to get to right here.
Now the ball moved right at the end as it got to the hitting zone and moved in on Roberto. You see, he tried to collapse, and if nothing else, be able to fight the ball off and get a look at another pitch. But that's a good pitch by Wills. The hitter has to commit to it, and then right at the hitting zone, boom, it comes right in at your belt buckle.
Sack single to center in the first inning, and then reached on an infield hit and went to second on an error. A throw by Key, and then bounced into a force play short to second back in the 5th inning. 2 for 3 at 277 now. If you're just joining us, a lot has happened here tonight. We'll begin with Mel Hall. Mel was not in the ballpark in time for batting practice this evening. He called Yankee manager Stump Merrill late this afternoon. There's the 1-1 pitch. Off the plate and foul, telling the manager that he would be late getting to the ballpark, but he expected to be there by game time. He was not here by game time. Stump Merrill indicated that he had talked with him and was waiting for him. I talked to Mel Hall as he walked into the ballpark on his way to the Yankee clubhouse. He reached the Yankee clubhouse at 8:11 tonight between the second and third inning. He indicated to me that he had left Toronto at about 5:30 this morning, flying to Montreal, then to New York City to take over and deal with a family matter in New York City. And then he flew back from New York to Toronto. And Sachs goes down swinging. So Wills has gotten the first two batters he has faced here in the seventh inning. Mel Hall indicated that he had planned to be back in time, but the flight from New York back to Toronto was delayed, and then due to the rain and heavy traffic from the airport here in Toronto to the ballpark, he was delayed and did not reach the stadium until after 8 o'clock. Stump Merrill has said Mattingly steps in, and he grounded into a double play in the first to knock in the first Yankee run, fly to left in the third, and then singled to center in the sixth inning and later scored. Merrill has said that he will reserve any comment and any disciplinary action until he has time to sit down and talk with Mel Hall and get all the facts of the case. That's number one. Number two, Pascual Perez has decided to defer surgery at this time. He will undergo a rehabilitation program of 6 weeks and won't throw for at least 3 weeks. Yankee team physician Dr. Stuart Hirshine will keep a close eye on him. Mattingly to second. Liriano to Olrud, and the Yankees are retired 1-2-3 in the seventh. We'll go to the bottom of the seventh inning at the Sky Dome in Toronto. The Yankees 5, the Blue Jays 1. We're now going to pause for station identification.
This is no ordinary family station wagon. This is the new Passat from Volkswagen. And it's everything a true European wagon is meant to be. The way it looks, feels, and drives is distinctly European. But the biggest news is inside, with room for 5, fully adjustable seats front and back, and an enormous 68.9 cubic feet of cargo space. Passat wagon. It's never been easier to put your family in a Volkswagen. The new Passat, now at the Volkswagen dealer nearest you.
The Fighting Kentuckian, Saturday night at 8 on Channel 11.
Equipped with radar, it can shoot anything. And with digital superimpose, it can document the hit. The newest VHS camcorder from JVC. We just made recorded history again. Once you consider the complications of other camcorders, the best plug for JVC is no plug at all. It fits right in your VHS VCR. JVC. We just made recorded history again.
This is John Wayne's kind of Western. The Sad Goodbye.
Now, ain't that just like a woman?
The Apache Attack.
Anything I hate's a happy engine.
The Cross Country Cattle Drive. And the Shoot from the Hip Gunfight. Montgomery Clift.
He'll do.
And the Duke, a rancher on a rampage.
Pretty unhealthy job.
Well, this is getting to be plumb crazy. We've been doing this all day.
Red River. Saturday at 4:30 on Channel 11, New York's movie station.
Dave LaPointe threw 6 innings here tonight at the Sky Dome. 6 hits and 1 run. You see Billy Connors, Stump Merrill. Billy probably looking up at the lineup. And he sees Manny Lee, Kenny Williams, and Junior Felix, the 3 hitters scheduled to face LaPointe here in the bottom of the 7th. He has pitched a superb ball game. He's gotten some great defensive support from Alvaro Espinoza at shortstop. It has been a typical Dave LaPointe game when he is pitching well. Hard stuff inside off the plate to keep the hitters honest, and then soft stuff away to get them out. It's a little bit of a clinic tonight, George.
When Dave LaPointe is right, He's hitting those corners, using his off-speed deliveries to perfection, and he's come up with the pitches when he's needed it tonight. You can see the difference between LaPointe and Key on this evening, and Scooter and I were talking about the fact that Jimmy, after the rehab program, really isn't 100% yet.
A little rusty, and he didn't get the out when he needed it. The 2-out single that he gave up to Bob Guerin was a big hit by Guerin. Knocked in a couple of runs.
There's a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to Manny Lee. Tonight, Lee flied to center field, singled off Steve Sax's glove at second. 1 for 2. Now at 266, and that's high, ball 4. Only the second walk that LaPointe has issued tonight.
And that is not a good sign, walking the leadoff hitter when you're up by 4 runs. And especially when the leadoff hitter is a number 8 hitter in the lineup. And Stump Merrill will come out of the dugout. Lee Gooderman is throwing in the bullpen. Kenny Williams, a right-handed hitter who went in for Mookie Wilson in the 6th inning defensively. And he has scheduled a bat, but Stump, sometimes you can tell, George, by the way Stump walks out there. The slow walk when he's going to take the hook with him. Sometimes he kind of peppers out there when it's kind of a pep talk. And I don't know if this is conversation or what.
Jim Joyce is on his way out to the mound, and this will be pep talk time as Stump turns and heads back to the dugout, probably buying a little bit of time for Gooderman too to get loose. I wanted to see also maybe how he felt. He looks like he's running out of gas.
He looked like he was saying he's thrown 95 pitches so far. It looks like Stump was letting him know he's a little upset of walking the number 8 hitter in the lineup and leading off the inning. Let's go get him. It's not time to start being cute and when you're facing the 8-9 hitters in the lineup.
Williams for his first at bat tonight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kenny Williams took over for Mookie Wilson in center after Wilson struck out in the 2nd and then struck out again in the 4th. Williams just picked up on waivers from the Tigers.
0 for 4, 0 for 5 last night, and he struck out 3 times too. And LaPointe has fallen behind here, 2 balls and a strike.
Biggest problem, you're dealing with the top of the order after this, and that's Felix to short, Espinosa to Sachs, and the Yankees turn the 2. When LaPointe has needed it tonight, it's either been a strikeout or that man, number 20, that's come up with the big play, and Espinosa does it again.
Boy, isn't that the truth? When in trouble, have him hit it to Espinosa. And this is tailor-made. This is just like infield practice. Boy, he's setting it on a table. And even Kenny Williams, as fast as he runs, he can't even make it a close play at first base. And a big pitch by Dave LaPointe. He's holding the Phantom of the Opera on first.
He's just tired, I think.
He's a little fatigued.
Sure.
Now, sometimes they'll do that. Sometimes pitchers will do that. And I don't mean to make fun of Dave LaPointe. Sometimes he might feel a little bit more comfortable pitching from this stretch, and he's doing it again. Now, whether he's doing it out of embarrassment because he caught himself in the first pitch, he said, well, I'll just keep doing it here and make up an excuse later.
Make it seem like, oh, I do this all the time. To left field, down the line, over his Larritz, and he's got it right near the line in fair territory. And LaPointe, after being on the ropes, comes back to get out of the inning. So at the end of 7 at the Sky Dome in Toronto, the Yankees lead the Blue Jays 5-1.
Something super is happening this summer at the Concord. It's Concord's big superstar summer. All summer long, no matter when you come to the Concord, weekend or midweek, you'll enjoy the Concord Super Bargain Packages. For reservations, call the Concord Hotel, 1-800-431-3850.
Appearing Saturday, July 7th, Shirley Bassey.
There are a lot of full-size sedans out there, so why buy a Dodge Dynasty? Well, in addition to driver's side airbags, front-wheel drive, available anti-lock brakes, and the longest powertrain warranty in its class, this Dynasty has the best fuel economy of any car in its class. Need more convincing? It also has the lowest price. And you know your Dodge dealer will work hard to give you a great deal. Dynasty. For safety and value, any way you look at it, it's Advantage Dodge.
Hey, come on. Is this any way to spend the summer? No. Make it a Bud summer with Budweiser, Bud Light, and Bud Dry. Check inside 12 packs and you could win one of 100 Bud label pools. Look for me, Jeff Altman, where you buy your favorite beer, because we're giving away pools all summer long. It's wet, it's wild, it's Bud summer. Hey man, you need sunscreen, you're starting to peel. Woo!
Dave LaPointe made a great pitch to Kenny Williams. And double play turned by Espinosa and Sachs. And that is a big, big out. Base on ball, so Lee leading off the inning and falling behind Kenny Williams, but he got a little help from his defense. After that inning, he came in, he talked to Stump Merrill and gave Espinosa a pat on the top of the head for turning the double play, it looked like, and wondering if he's going to stay in the game. It's been hot in here tonight.
And as you can tell by the look on his face, too, that he's had a good workout. Full house, plus it was a hot, humid day, and even when you crank up the air conditioning inside with this many people in it, it makes it a muggy atmosphere. Balboni, Barfield, and Liritz up against Wills, who struck out 2 of the 3 he faced in the 7th inning. Jimmy Key gave up the 5 Yankee runs. Balboni homered back in the 1st inning, popped to 2nd, and then popped to 3rd. 1 for 3. Foul off third base. Already tonight, the Blue Jays have used some of their bench when they didn't want to. Wilson left after striking out twice, and Williams went to center, and Fernandez was ejected from the game after arguing a foul ball call. Balboni hits it wide of third and foul. So Liriano entered the game to play second, and Lee moved over to short. Balboni hits it deep to left, but foul. Up on the 3rd level.
That's heading toward Canseco territory.
Yeah.
They say when this dome is closed, the time when the ball travels the best here. We're talking about a ball club that has closing in on 100 home runs already in this American League. The Toronto Blue Jays. They say when the ball carries best here is when the roof is closed, and it's this kind of night. This humid, gets humid in here. I was talking to Buck Martinez, who used to be a catcher here for the Blue Jays, and now does some announcing up here on their television network. And he says when you can see the pitcher's face and he begins to perspire, he says, look out. That's when the humidity is right and the ball will really fly in this place.
And that certainly describes the look of Dave LaPointe. He has been masterful tonight, though. He's allowed the Blue Jays only 6 hits.
If he's going to do it, you're going to have to supply his own power, isn't it?
There's the Bucker in the middle.
There's Buck right in the middle.
Balboni hits it hard to left. No one will bring this one back, and Steve Balboni has hit his second home run of the night. And the Yankees have a 6-1 lead. We've talked about it over the last few nights. He's been hitting the ball with authority. The hits haven't always come, but tonight he's got 2 to show for it. He had 1 last night, could have had 3, and tonight 2 home runs.
Well, the Yankees taking a page out of the Blue Jay book. And he was robbed of 2 extra base hits last night, as you say, George. And you know, a veteran like Balboni knows that he's going to go home. You know, he'll go home and say, listen, I'm 1 for 5, but I should have been 3 for 5 with 2 doubles. So he knows he's swinging the bat well. He may be 1 for 5 in the box score, but you know he's confident at the plate.
Jesse Barfield fouls it to the right side and out of play. And Barfield, his last time up, just missed one. He hit it high and deep to left, and Bell caught it right against the wall.
Well,
Jesse is 0 for 3.
I thought it was gone when he hit it.
I did too.
From up here, I said, oh boy, that's crushed. Different perspective up here. You know, talking about Balboni being 1 for 5 last night, and you know the veteran he is, it should not have bothered him, and most likely did not. Comes out here today, 2 home runs, first time up, home run, swinging the bat well. That's all he can do. And the difference between that and a young player might go back to the hotel last night, see, I'm 1 for 5, I had a bad night. Balboni goes back, and you know he's saying, listen, I hit the ball right on the button 3 times. That's all I can ask for. He just hope other people are noticing it. That's all.
Stump Merrill said last night the one regret he had with the victory was that Balboni didn't get what he deserved, and that was those other 2 hits. But he's guarding that bat. He's not going to let anybody take that away from him tonight. He may sleep with it. One ball and 2 strikes to Jesse Barfield, and Barfield talking with home plate umpire Jim Joyce. Going to be straightening out the pitch count. Here's one man who would certainly love to hit one here, back before so many friends and so many fans. You walk down on the field before the game and just about everybody's yelling, hey Jesse, come on over. He was a very popular player here in Toronto. Yes, he gets the inside corner, and Wills has his 3rd strikeout.
It looked like Jesse was looking away, and Wills came in and painted that inside corner. Looked like the same kind of pitch that Roberto Kelly swung and missed at. Boy, he just had no chance. That ball just dives in right at your hands, and Jesse just was frozen.
One of the many signs that are around the ballpark tonight. Welcome home, Jesse. We love you. That'll bring up Jimmy Leyritz, who bounced back to the pitcher in the 2nd, to short in the 4th, and then double to left in the 6th inning. He continues to look impressive at the plate. Now at 297. If you're just joining us, the Yankees 6 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. The Blue Jays 1 run, 6 hits, and 1 error. Dave LaPointe has pitched well. Jimmy Key, the starter for Toronto, and Wills in relief of Key. The 2-2 pitch. Hit hard to center field. Williams misjudges, recovers, and catches up to it. He almost got his pocket picked, Tom.
Jimmy Leyritz showing a little bit of strength here. That was a pretty good pitch. And Jimmy kept his hands back. Williams misjudged the ball just a little bit. Look at that. He hit that ball a long way. That was a pretty good pitch. Williams just coming over from the Detroit Tigers, so this park is relatively new to him. And he might misjudge a ball or two. Softly to Gruber.
And Blowers is retired, so the Yankees get the home run from Balboni and lead it 6-1. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Dave LaPointe still in there, working on a victory, looking for his first complete game since 1988. The Yankees lead it 6-1.